Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So today I bring you guys loot from 3,000 Basilisk Knights, and I want to say that this video was meant to be uploaded sooner, but in all honesty, I just really did not enjoy this update, and to make matters worse, after killing 2,000 of these Knights, there was a second update where they did increase the HP and the difficulty of killing them, so that kind of made this video a little bit longer than it should have been, so I do apologize for that. Just got to get those quick excuses in there, you know. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video. So the original Basilisk came into the game January 26, 2005. And fast forward 14 years, here we are with the new and improved Basilisk Knight. And I will say that, you know, they do kind of look like the original one, but they also kind of look like a Dark Beast as well as a Drake kind of combined into one, in my opinion. So the graphics on this thing definitely do stand out. Now, these Knights are located in the Jormungand prison beneath the Island of Stone, and of course you do need a 60 Slayer in order to kill them with the completion of the quest, the Fremennik Exiles. Just like the other Basilisk, you do have to equip a mirror shield, or preferably the shield that I was using, which is the V shield. Now this shield is definitely required because if you don't have it on, then you will get your stats reduced, and it's just kind of one of those things that is necessary to always have here. And it is important to note that all of this was done for me off task, and the rare drop that these Basilisks have to offer, the jaw, is 5 times rarer off task. So unfortunately, I was kind of going into this video knowing that the odds of me getting that jaw would be extremely rare. However, I just did not have the Slayer points that I needed in order to consistently get assigned this task and be 5 times more likely to get that rare. So while this video might not be the luckiest in terms of drops, at least you guys are going to get a pretty good idea of how to kill these Knights and why you should kill them if you should at all, and of course their normal drop table and all of the untradeable drops that go along with that. So these Knights have two different attack styles, one of them being magic and the other one being melee, and you will always see people praying magic here because that is their main attack style that hits the highest, with the max hit being 40, so you got to be careful and make sure that you're always praying mage here. As it goes for your inventory and your choice of gear, you know, that's up to you. There are a lot of people that do safe spot these with range inside. I personally went with the max strength setup, firstly using a whip and a Nezi, a little bit of Vurox, and then I switched over to a rapier and full band with a serpentine helm. Only I do regret now using a serpentine helmet because if I would have used the fighter hat the whole time, I think I would have had a better stab bonus. I probably would have had faster kills. So yeah, your gear choice is really just all about your budget, but it is important to always bring food and always make sure to bring prayer potions here. For me, for the first 2,000 kills, I was bringing 4 super restores and 1 super combat, and pretty much just the whole rest of my inventory was filled with anglerfish, with of course the exception of the bottom row being my teleport to the bank, teleport back, the gem bag, and of course the bone crusher, which is one of 2 ways that I did track all of the kills for this video. And the bone crusher was a nice addition because I did get a free 45k prayer XP from doing this, and if you are maxed or if you are someone who has the diaries done, always make sure to bring a bone crusher. And something that I didn't start bringing until the very end of the video was a dragon warhammer, and that is the best in slot special attack weapon for this monster, 100%. The reason for that is because these things, like I mentioned many times before, is such high defense, such high HP. The Dragon Warhammer special attack really helps lower the defense and just speed up the kill, and I honestly think if I would have brought a Dragon Warhammer every single inventory from start to finish, I really think I would have shut off probably like 3 hours off this video just because of how effective that Warhammer spec really is. So if you can't afford it, I believe it's only like 37ish mil right now, very cheap, just like a lot of other items in game. I would recommend investing in it because of course you can't bring a Saradomin Godsword here or anything like that. Well, you could bring a Saradomin Godsword here, you could also bring a scythe, any two-handed weapon you can bring, but again, if you do get attacked by that one specific hit and you do not have that shield equipped on, you will have all of your stats reduced. So that is something to keep in mind. It is a risk to bring a special attack weapon that isn't a Dragon Warhammer, but like I said, it's all about your budget and all about your preference. And speaking of preference, you know, if you don't like this room in order to kill these Knights, there is another room to the east of this one, and I did use that room for a very short period of time, which you will see a little bit in this video, but for the most part you will find more Knights to the west all the way south in this room. And I will say, since this update update provided a new best in slot helmet. This was very crowded on release, and for the very first 4 days, it was just hard to find any world, let alone any total level world, to find these knights to be available. There was always multiple people in one spot, and it was very hard to find kills, but it quickly died down after those days went by, and I really wasn't having that problem anymore, so that was good. Now, one downside of these knights is that you can't use a cannon down here. Unfortunately, you can only use a cannon down here in the Dagannoth rooms and not the Basilisk rooms, so that is a downside. But one upside to this monster is that they are very AFK to kill, and even after Jagex did buff them and make them a little bit stronger than they were before, providing them with an extra attack that kind of freezes your character for 1 or 2 seconds. Even after all of that, I was finding myself almost never dying and pretty much never having to click, you know? I mean, the kills would take so long, I would never have to move throughout the whole kill, start to finish, and yeah, it really didn't require that much clicking, so that was one upside, was that I was on my Iron Man from start to finish. All of the 50 hours that this video did take me to do, I got a lot done on multiple accounts, so that was a good thing. I mean, that's kind of one bonus about this monster, is that you can really just kind of zone out. As long as you keep your HP and your prayer up and you don't die, of course, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Right, so moving on from all of that, let's talk a little bit about the drop table of these Basilisk Knights and just how good or how bad it is. Now, you can tell throughout the video I was getting the occasional hard clue scroll, and I did end up doing just about 11 hard clues through 3,000 Knights. I'm not too sure of the drop rate of the clue scrolls, but it was a nice transition, you know, going from killing the Knights consistently to taking a little bit of a break and getting that clue scroll with the potential for some extra profit. So you will see all of those open caskets towards the end of the video, as usual. And as I mentioned before, you know, these Basilisk Knights only really have that one rare drop, which is considered to be the jaw, which is what you put on a Nezi helmet to make it the new best in slot face guard helmet. And while I do find it weird that they decided to put that drop on a level 60 Slayer monster, I still can't understand that, especially the difficulty of this monster with the level. It just really doesn't add up to me. But nevertheless, you know, that is what makes this monster pretty profitable. Now, if you happen to be unlucky and you don't receive the jaw, then the second best tradable rare that you can get from these Basilisk Knights is a golden mystic hat, and it is currently valued at just under 10k. And at this point in the video, I was nearing 2,500 kills overall, and that was pretty much all I was seeing was white mystic hats, and of course the occasional long bone, the occasional Basilisk head, and you know, nearing 3,000, I was not too sure if I was going to get that jaw drop or not. I really wanted to see my jaw drop over the jaw drop, but did not unfortunately happen. We did get to that 3,000 point, and unfortunately all I saw towards the very end of the video was another head with no jaw to go along with it. So there you go, 3,000 Basilisk Knights have been completed. I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty disappointed that I did not get the jaw drop, but since I was not on task at all throughout this video, I completely understand, and I am curious as to see just how rare it is, and I'm sure I will update the description just as soon as I get the exact number for the drop rate of it on and off task. But for now, we are left with all of the normal drops, all of the alks, the runes, the herbs, and the gems, as well as all of the clue scroll caskets, just to confirm all of the 3,000 Bone Crusher charges were used, and as you can see there in the Slayer Helm log, 3,000 Knights have been killed. Pretty ironic timing there with the global announcement there, but anyway, I will say it was a fun experience. I mean, it was kind of boring at times, I'm not gonna lie, you know, the AFKing and just kind of sitting there, but you know, I did have my Iron Man for some side entertainment. And again, the clue scrolls always kind of gave me a break from the grind itself, so that was nice. Something I do want to say though is that I did bank probably 25 times more than the average player would. If you're going to be killing these Basilisk Knights, most of the time you are going to be bringing high alks. I myself had to bank all of the individual rune items that you see in those tabs, as well as all of the addy items, so I was banking a hell of a lot more than the average player would. So this did take me a little bit longer because of that, but with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get into the price check. As we can see right away, we already have 629k. That is just from the coin drops, so those do add up to be a little bit, you know, over time, 3,000. That's not a terrible amount from that. And if you are curious as to how much we made from all of those clue scrolls, we did walk away with just about 1.1 mil. Now let's go ahead and price check all of these drops, all of the rune, all of the runes, the herbs, the gems, as well as the GP. Everything does come out to be just about 13.6 mil from 3,000 Basilisk Knights. Now, of course, we have to add in the infamous golden mystic hats as well as the long bones, and let's not forget the heads. 10 long bones, 6 heads, and 7 hats. That is the overall highlight of the video, I guess. Unfortunately, I didn't really make too much profit. I mean, that 13.6 mil seems like a decent amount, but for the 50 hours that it took to do, as well as all the divine super combat potions, all the prayer potions, I mean, I think I really only profited probably somewhere around 3 to 4 mil. Had we gotten the jaw, then I think this would have had a happier ending, but nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. On the upside, I did get a lot of strength XP, got a lot of long bones, so that's free construction XP, and yeah, I mean, I learned a lot about new monsters, so I mean, it was overall a decent experience. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm currently working on 10,000 Aberrant Spectres on my Iron Man, that's halfway done, and alongside that, I'm also working on a loot video on Mr. No Sleep. I think it's going to be loot from 100 Chambers of Xerix, kind of do that as a test run, and if people seem to like it, I might commit to 1,000, but we will see. I got a lot of things on my mind right now. You guys also might see a different styled video on this channel very soon, something that I don't think anyone will ever expect. I'm kind of excited for it. I'm not too sure how it's gonna go, but that's also in the works, and you will see that later this month as well. Has nothing to do with any monsters this time, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys will think about that, and I'm going to stop extending this video now. I just had to get that last word in. A lot of things are to come. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you next time, and until then, Mr. No Sleep, out.